Matadors, welcome. We are so excited for you to begin the 22-23 school year. I'd like to introduce some of our staff here. I have Jenny DeVries, our Vice Principal Secretary. She does so many things on campus. If you ever have a need for anything, come down to the office and she'll be here to help you. My secretary, Jessica McNichol, she handles a lot of things when we have subs in the morning. She takes on all kinds of those tasks, and she's also very helpful. If you ever come in the office, she'll be the first person you see as you walk in. We have our vice principals here, Mark Euler, and he is going to be working with students in the alphabet of A through F. We have Christina Burkhart. She's going to be working with students alphabet
O to Z.
And we have Ellie Hay, vice principal, working with
G through N.
G through N. So, well, first thing I want to just share is that we really hope that you guys come back with some goals in mind. We want to get off to a great start, and setting goals and getting involved in campus activities is so important. We have 19 different sports to get involved in, over 80 clubs. So getting involved, getting engaged with things that are fun, having something that you're looking forward to when you come to school every day is so important in terms of your academic success. Many of your classes will be challenging, but we have tutoring every day after school except for Thursdays. So we have over 50 peer tutors that are here to help, and we also have some Sac State tutors that will be working with our students. So looking for those resources. If you run into any issues with conflict mediation, we have students and staff that are trained in conflict mediation and doing restorative practices. So all of those things are important as you come back to school thinking about what resources are available and how you can be successful. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and today we're going to spend some time going over our expectations for you so you know exactly what you can do to be successful this year. Thank you. Go Matadors!
Some of our major discipline issues last year were tardies, classroom disruption, electronic devices, truancy, defiance, fighting, failure to serve detention, and dress code. So as you see, we are sitting in the VP office. This might be one of the locations you end up if you violate one of these situations. That being said, we want you to know that the VP office is not just a place for you to go if you're naughty. If you need support, we are all here and ready to help you.
No drugs of any kind, no alcohol, no tobacco will be permitted on campus. Let's see what's going on over here. Hey, what's going on?
What? Didn't do anything. What's your problem? Come on. We're just hanging out. Yeah.
So first, with the campus procedures for evacuation, that is definitely something that your classroom instructor will be covering with you. There are separate evacuation routes for each room and for the buildings in particular, so be on the lookout for that. They'll be going over that with you. There is a campus map that you'll be able to see that identifies routes as well. And based on that, another level of campus security that we have and that you should be informed of is when we end up having to go into campus emergencies, such as either a lockdown or a shelter in place. Those are procedures that standard will be pretty routine throughout the year as far as our drills. We'll have at least 2 per year, and they'll cover the essentials for that. The rules for lockdown are pretty simple. The teachers will lock doors, close windows, and then students will end up having a seat on the floor near their desks. And during this time period, one of the bigger things that we advise not to do is to be on a cell phone. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Number one, the light that is typically produced by the cell phone can be seen from outside of a classroom, and an intruder might be looking for such signs of students inside of the classroom, which we definitely don't want to give that to them. And then 2, the communication that's going out from each student is more likely to bring a concerned parent from the outside onto campus. And if we are dealing with an emergency situation, we do not want to bring others onto campus. So just please trust that we are there to keep you safe. We will be messaging out to the district and out to families the current situation if we ever do go into a lockdown. So another rule that we have is no visitors on campus unless they have checked in through the admin office. One of the benefits over the summer of our repaving and construction is that we have a new zone that's the old parking lot off of Edison is now visitors only. There may be a couple of staff members up there, but visitors will have the predominant number of parking spaces available to them. And so any parent or anyone that is coming to visit the school for logistic reasons can then check in through the office through that method. We do not allow DoorDash or any other type of food delivery during the day. And the safety reason behind that is we don't have any means of vetting their drivers or their employees. And so that's definitely a potential hazard on campus as well. So just enjoy the cuisine in the cafeteria. We know it's delectable and yummy, but we do not allow for DoorDash or any other food service. During lunchtime and during the basic operations of school, we are not allowed to be in certain designated areas. There's a diagram that you're going to be taking a look at here that will identify that. And just keep in mind, it's basically the periphery of the campus, the sporting fields, the parking lots, out towards Edison, obviously. You cannot go past the front gates in that direction. So we do have supervision folks that are going to be watching for safety purposes, and those folks have routines and will be, coming around on a fairly regular basis to make sure that those areas are safe. And so those are the ones that we need you to be staying in for the duration of the school day. There are some policies in place. If we do catch you out of bounds, typically it's a warning for the first round, and then after that we begin with Saturday school assignments. So unless you're interested in spending your Saturdays here at Mira Loma, we suggest you abide by those campus boundaries. So as far as the lunchtime activities that are accessible for students, we do allow obviously soccer out on the grass area, but we do want students to stay away from the pool. Obviously can't go in or near the pool at the time, but out by the grass is fine. And then as far as the far fence, we're not allowed to be in that general vicinity or to sit on the far fence. One of our other issues that we would like to discuss is our dress code. The dress code on campus is pretty basic, and it is we have to keep coverage. I like to kind of use the middle of the body as we call it the equator. So the middle of the body, the equator has to be covered, right? So both your shorts and your shirt have to meet at the equator. Up above, we have to have coverage beyond certain areas. We don't want to have too much visible, and that goes for both guys and girls. Okay, we cannot have strapless or too revealing garments. And then as far as shorts are concerned, we have to make sure that shorts are fitting at the waist, as well as not rising too high either. Okay, the John Stocktons of the 80s, we cannot do those. Okay, and that goes again for both guys and girls. Okay, the infractions for dress code: first round's a warning. After that, we start the progressive discipline routine where you're going to be sent to the office for a detention, and then it will get progressive from there. Typically by about the second or third round, if that's necessary, students start to get the idea that it's less convenient for them to have to spend their time up in the VP office calling their parents for a change of clothes. So one of the primary concerns that we heard from our school community over the last few years and that is students as well as staff combined, is the issue of students not being where they would need to be for safety purposes as well as for instructional purposes. So if students are not in the classroom at the beginning of the bell ringing, that is going to be considered a tardy this year. So students, the rule actually is that students need to be inside the room and ready to learn when the final bell sounds. So students that do not follow that rule will then be locked out of a room. The teachers are instructed to close and lock doors at that point as the bell rings. And then any student that is left on the outside of the door is going to be sent to the attendance office to get a tardy slip. The tardies will be progressive as far as discipline is concerned. The first 1 and 2 are teacher warnings and consequences. 3 and 4 are detentions. And then from there on, you're going to be sent to the office for either a referral or other consequences from the vice principal.
Academic dishonesty will not be tolerated. You will have consequences. Cyberbullying is not accepted and not tolerated in Mira Loma. Examples of cyberbullying are sending mean text, spreading rumors online or using any electronic device, doxing, swatting, any of that is not allowed, and they're forms of cyberbullying, and there will be consequences. Instead of cyberbullying or sending mean messages or a text or hurtful things about students, try sending positive messages and being positive.
Daily announcement forms can be found in the vice principal's office. You just need to fill it out completely and bring it in to me the day before you want it in the bulletin. It will need to be signed by your supervisor of your club or your activity.
Lost and Found is in E16, and that is also the location where you get your textbooks.
Good.
How you doing? I'm Octavian Brown with the Safe Schools Department. This is my new office, room D8. If you ever need me, you always see me around campus, assistant, staff, admin, even you. Anytime you need me, you know where to come, room D8. Let's have a good year. Let me see how